Hey! We are live again. You know, it's been 4 weeks since Shake My Head.
It's growing out quickly.
What are you thinking, people?
Wow.
Actually,
Weekly head check? I think so. Maybe it's been 3.
Goodness.
Somebody in the comments find out how many weeks have we had since I Shake My Head.
Your prize will
I
be
think
stones.
I think it was
I'm not
3.
wearing a hat because I'm ashamed of my head. Just like to
I think
clarify. I just like this hat. All right? I just like this hat. So everyone is here. We've got Rachel Z, Tony, Chris, Sinead, Jess, Natasha, and Beth. She's also there too. And obviously Alexa's with me. How you guys doing? You all right?
Yeah, all good.
Yeah.
All is well. That is good. Well, I've got some questions for you guys to start us off. And everyone in the chat, we want to know that your answers as well. Hang on. Well, we've got someone that's not on the stream. Hang on. Mystery guest.
Mystery guest.
Mystery guest. Hey!
Okay.
It's like something's missing. The green background's gone.
I've just been
So
backstage.
there it
Not
is.
blinded.
There it is. Okay, so I have some would you rather questions that I did Google 10 minutes ago, but they're very important. I'm
They
going to
are.
ask all of you guys.
It'll
these-
shape how we think about you.
Yeah, totally. So we want to know in the comments, and I want to ask these guys here your answers to these questions. Is everybody ready? Everyone got it?
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Okay. First one. Would you rather only be able to walk on all fours or only be able to walk sideways? All fours. or
Sideways.
sideways?
Sideways.
Sideways.
Why are we saying
Yeah,
sideways?
Yeah.
You know,
I
when you're a
actually
weird
saw
animal
a
kid.
video
Yeah.
of someone running on all fours, and it looked painful. Yeah.
Eating sideways is a bit odd. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
Yeah, but all fours is odd.
At least you're standing up.
Yeah. You get like really bad back.
Your hands are like touching the floor. Like you eat with those hands.
Yeah, your hands would get really
Yeah.
dirty.
yeah, that is true.
I'd just be sidestepping everywhere.
But you couldn't do any sports walking sideways. You could if you were on all fours.
I don't do sports anyway.
You could still play rugby on all fours.
No, you can't. You
I
use
mean-
your hands.
You could do like table tennis sideways, like you just be moving.
True.
Man's not trying to look at the man and go. Oh my days. Alright, so it seems everyone's saying sideways.
Yes, they
Oh,
are.
that makes sense.
No.
Oh, Beth's saying all fours.
No, both.
All fours.
Yeah.
Why all
Wow.
fours?
I just think if you put shoes on your hands, then it'd get rid of the whole your hands being dirty thing, and I think it'd just be better if you were on all fours. I mean,
But then you've got sweaty sock hands that you then have
Yeah.
to do food with.
I think it's a question of would you rather look more normal or have something more practical? Because I actually think all fours is probably you can still get places on time.
No.
Like imagine if you're walking
Much
sideways,
faster.
you'll never make a bus. You'll never
I mean,
make
you could just like sidestep really quickly, like they make us doing PE.
Alright, we'll do that. So you
Yeah, like
on Friday, we'll do the side step thing.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll move on to the next one. Okay.
I think we're done with
Here we
that.
go. All right. Second question. Would you rather start a colony on another planet or be the leader of a small country on Earth? President
Colony on another planet.
another
or
planet.
Elon
Yeah.
Musk?
Another planet.
No country.
Yeah, country.
Like
It'll be a
Country.
planet of
All
Chris.
country on earth.
Wards, what are you saying?
Wards. No.
Wards. Beth.
I'd go for a different planet.
I'll go with
Different
country.
Mm.
Okay, so hang on. So I want to know why different planet people are thinking
Because then
different
I
planet.
could name it like the colony of Chris.
You couldn't do that with your country.
I guess so.
Yeah. I feel like Earth is like known more. Like you know what you're getting with Earth. If you go to another planet, like you don't know if you've got
Yeah.
proper oxygen. Like there's a lot of things that you got to work out.
It's like taking over Luxembourg. Yeah, Luxembourg.
Yeah.
No, it is. It's a small country. That's what it'd be like. King of Luxembourg. I could live with that. There's still Mackies. You don't get Mackies in space.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I just want to go to a different planet.
I would institute Uber Eats and Deliveroo in Luxembourg as king, and I agree that I get free Mackies because I'm the
Nice.
king. Royal authority.
Or at least voucher.
I mean, like that's not a bad idea to be
And
honest.
I'd put half the country's budget into youth. It's genius.
Yeah,
Okay, move on to the next one. This is a less weird one. Would you rather be able to type / text very fast, or be able to read really quickly?
Read quickly.
Read.
Read.
Yeah.
I'm such a slow reader. I can get through so many more books.
Yeah.
I'd like to be able to read full
Sorry.
Yeah, and I think the texting one just makes you look too keen anyway.
Yeah.
Like, why is this person always replying?
No one's
immediately?
gonna keep up.
Mm.
Like, as soon as it says red, there's a message. So, all right, next one. This is the last one. Would you rather have toes for fingers or fingers for toes?
Fingers for toes.
Fingers for toes.
You could pick
Yeah.
one up.
No,
Yeah.
wait.
Yeah, fingers for toes.
Because my feet Yeah. anyway.
Fingers for toes.
That is gross. My toes are
Maybe toes for
What if you
fingers,
had like
though?
especially long toes? So they were like fingers anyway.
Ugh.
Like what choice are you gonna make?
I feel-
sick.
I feel like toes just look weird, so I wouldn't want them on my hand.
Imagine your
You know what I
fingers,
mean?
like your
Yeah.
big toe.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
imagine
that's
if there was
disgusting.
things on it.
That's
It'd
manky.
be hard to
no.
walk, wouldn't it? With fingers for toes.
But if you had toes
Oh,
for fingers, you could do the all fours thing really well.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
Oh, yeah.
If we like stuck with every answer from the beginning of this, would you rather? People are going to be like on a different planet, walking on all fours with their fingers for toes.
Oh no.
What a life.
I think the big, yeah, exactly. Look, Ade's got it right. You'd be boss at football because they couldn't rule it as handball,
I mean, yeah.
Handball.
and you'd be a great drummer, like because you got an extra arm basically.
Could potentially like.
Fingers on your toes. You could hang from a tree, be like a monkey. Monkeys can hang from stuff. True, right? It's
No.
genius.
And also, you can hide them. Like, once they're
Yeah.
in shoes, no one knows.
You can fold them over.
Yeah. Imagine going to the beach though.
Oh,
It'd be awkward.
Yeah, that would be a bit.
You can get shoes to wear in the sea as well. Like,
Rachel's
Rachel's
also
like
hiding
scuba
them.
shoes.
Rachel's got this
They're
covered.
waterproof gloves.
I feel like Rachel's thought through this already.
Yeah.
Rachel knows. Well, that just about wraps up our Would You Rather. I'll just show some of the comments here. We've got fingers for toss, fingers for toes. We've also got I'll be breaking Adalash's ankles with my ball control. That must mean
It's not gonna happen, is it?
It must mean that he doesn't already. So I'm on your
Lots of
side,
the game,
Adalash.
Adalash.
We had people voting for sideways, planets, and Josh said that studying would take 10 minutes if you could read really fast. So I
True.
rate all of those answers. They're pretty good, aren't they?
Yeah.
So without further ado, we're going to move on, and we're going to say goodbye to all of our Would You Rather guests. So why don't you wave those guys goodbye? See you later, Rachel,
Bye.
Sinead, Z, the Wards. One second, let me get that to Avalash, Natasha, Jess, and then it's just us and Tony.
Whoa.
Now, this is the wonderful Tony. I'm just over there. Right. Tony is our amazing youth pastor in Sittingbourne. And as we're doing things a little different tonight, I guess I should explain what's kind of going on, right? I guess that makes sense. So in a minute, Tony's going to preach for us. She's going to bring an amazing sermon, continuing our series, Who's Calling? And Tony's going to be preaching about being equipped for calling. So I really encourage you, get your notes out, get commenting, get your Bible up. We're going to learn some amazing, amazing truth from Tony. And what's going to happen after, this is why you stick around, is we're going to have some guests come on, and they're going to plug different teams in church that you could serve on. And then we're going to break out into our groups tonight. All together, we're all going to go into different groups. So Tony, without leaving you hanging, we're going to leave it to you. All right? Smash it. Yeah. You're up.
Fantastic. I'm up. So I'm live. I'm with you guys. So I want to share with you guys just a little bit. So we've obviously been planning this mini series, Who's Calling? We are on week number 4, maybe. And so we're going to be talking about being equipped for calling. And as I was thinking about how I want to share with you guys, or what lessons I've learned in my journey on finding my own calling, and being equipped for calling, I suddenly felt God really speaking to me. And stick with me because it is a little bit random, but I want to explain to you the journey that I've been on with this. And so when I was thinking about this and I was praying about it, I was reminded, obviously lockdown, a lot of people in lockdown, they have been like decorating. I'm part of some of those groups on Facebook where people upcycle projects, they decorate the house really beautifully. And so I looked around in my home, and if I'm really honest, there are areas in my house that have not been decorated. So I've got some photos that I want to show you guys. Obviously the wall behind me has been painted. It is very nice. But the pictures that are going to come up, I'm just gonna, so this is my stairway. I woke up one morning and thought, I don't like that banister. And literally as simple as that, I just smashed it off. I just knocked the wall right down. Chris had just finished night work and he walks in, I'm like, I'm smashing this wall. And I said to him, so you're gonna have to finish this. I didn't like the wall there and I've got to go to work. He's like, what? So I will just spontaneously decide that I want to do these crazy bizarre things in our house. On to the next picture, we've got that's our utility room, and as you can see, we have not finished painting that wall or boxing in those pipes. And the last picture that I want to share with you is my kitchen. And so when we moved in, we had a new kitchen fitted, and one of the last jobs that we have left to do in that kitchen is to tile the walls. And here is some of my decorating products. So I have the tins of paint there, I've got the wash to wipe the walls, I've got the sanding block, along with in my shed I also have the tiles, the grout, the tile spacers. Everything that I need to decorate my house is within my possession. It's not actually going to cost me anything at all to use what I already have to finish the decorating in my house. But the truth of the matter, guys, is that I haven't done any decorating despite having everything that I need to do it. And so when I was preparing this message, I suddenly had this. So I'd been interested in like trying to finish the decorating in our house. And I've said to Chris, like, come on, we should probably tile the walls. And the truth is, I have been putting it off because there's been a lot of things where I could have said, I could have done the decorating tonight, or this weekend we're both home, should we do some decorating? And the truth is, instead of doing that, I actually spoke negative over myself, and I would tell myself things like, someone else could do that better than I can. Actually, someone who knows what they're doing should probably do that, instead of actually trying to give it a go. And so I want to compare this actually to when we have a calling, and obviously Lex spoke about the collective calling. So there is no one that is exempt from having a purpose, having a God-given plan in their lives. And so point one of what I want to share with you is come as you are. And see, the last few weeks I have, I've also got a dresser in our dining room. And so I realised that I am not a perfect painter. I am not incredible at DIY, but until I give it a go, I realised that the last 18 months of me not doing anything means that nothing has been done. I've had the tools in my hand and I have not gone any further with that. And actually I sit in my house and I think so much more could have been done. And so my challenge to you this evening is, what are the tools that God has put in your hands? Because actually being equipped for calling is not about us waiting to be ready. Because if I'd have waited to do a course in DIY or be better at painting, I could be waiting another 5 years before I can decorate my house. But actually the tools that already I have, if I was to pick them up and use them and put them to use as they are intended to be, the outcome would maybe not be perfect, but it would be better than absolutely no progress at all. So my first point is come as you are, because God doesn't equip the called. So no, God does. Yes, he does do that actually. God doesn't call the equipped. He doesn't wait for you to be ready and say, right, you are perfect because you are excellent at speaking, so you're going to go and you're ready now to preach because you've done a leadership academy. Actually, he says, young people, the time is now. You are ready now. And we don't have to get it perfect straight away. And that is the beauty of God equipping us. Because it's not reliant on us. It's not I, in my own strength, because I'm a fantastic painter, I can decorate my house. Because I am excellent at tiling, I can finish tiling my kitchen. But actually, I've got the tiles. And God's put in me the ability to speak, the ability to love people. I'm in relationship with God. And I know that God has plans for me. And I may not necessarily know the calling that he has specifically for me, but I know by doing nothing, I am not functioning. I am never going to find my calling if I don't pick up the tools in my hand and start to step out. So what are the tools that God has already put in your hand? What is it that you can do now? Because the time is now, and come as you are. So this leads me to my second point. I was very quick to make excuses as to why I couldn't decorate my house. I quickly passed the task off to Chris, bless him, of finishing the stairway, because I had started something and then thought Chris would do a better job of that than I could. And the fact is that actually in that scenario, I could have fixed that wall had I taken time out and spoke to someone who was maybe more experienced than me. Maybe I could have watched YouTube tutorials. And in the same way, when you step out into finding your calling, it is how you respond. Don't think, right, okay, someone else can do that. I'm just going to sit here and wait for something else to come along. Use what is in your hand right now. But my point two is, why not? So what is it that you are using as an excuse, I guess? So for me, and decorating it was a number of things. It started off as someone else could do that better than me. A couple of months down the line, I thought I probably should give it a go. What's the worst that could happen? And then I'd find an excuse like, I don't have enough time. I'm a mum, I'm a wife, I'm doing some coursework. Like, I could easily find excuses. And I don't know about you guys, maybe there's a school project that you started and you had everything that you needed, all the resources, all the materials. Maybe there was a project that you started at school that you found excuses to not finish on time. And in a similar way, I know that God is calling you to step out of your comfort zones and to serve in areas that require sacrifice and commitment. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it is easy, because it's not always easy, but it is so rewarding to serve God wholeheartedly and that passion and just loving people as He loves us. But I want you to ask yourself this, and I'm not asking you to fully expose yourself and say, actually, I've been putting it off because blah, blah. But there's just a few points that, as I was reflecting on my own, similar to like decorating, but actually when I was younger and I would refuse to serve, or I would say, I'm not ready, I'm busy, I need to focus on my education, was a big one. And we hear that a lot, don't we? That actually, oh no, I need to get my education done and then I'll serve. But actually God says, no, you can do both. You can have a great education, but you can serve me also. Comparison is another reason why not. So like I said, you could think someone else can do that so much better than I can, but actually God has called you. And I briefly just want to share, so most of you know, obviously Terry's going to jump on and share about NYA soon, but Terry was youth pastor in Sittingbourne, going back a couple of years. And so when I was just a youth leader, I always felt like I was in her shadow. And so part of the reason when the time came and I was like spoken to about being youth pastor, I felt like I was never going to be able to do it because I wasn't Terry, or I wasn't Ellis, or I wasn't Dumo. And there was that niggle in my mind where I had to actually go to God and say, I'm really struggling with comparing myself to those that have gone before me. And God said very clearly, I have called you for such a time as this, that now is your time, and I have called you. You are Tony, you are no one else. And so I am not called to fit a mold of anybody else, but I am going to be the best youth pastor I can be as Tony, not as anybody else. So never compare yourself and use it as a reason not to step out and do all you can do for God. And so the point that I guess I kind of want to summarize from point 2 is, why not? But the only thing that was limiting me from getting my house decorated was myself. And in a similar way, a lot of the time, we're very quick to make excuses or come up with reasons why we can't find our calling, why we can't serve right now, and we put it off, don't we? So I just want you to think over that, and obviously we're going to unpack this more as we go into our XY groups later on, but just start letting that sink in and really sort of mull over that. What is it that I'm using as my I can't serve now because? And I want you to challenge that. So this is not like a really encouraging, fluffy message. You have got everything within you to be able to serve now. And yeah, God is going to equip you as you go out and you start serving. But actually, there are things that limit us to almost hold us back and maybe postpone us finding our God-given calling. And I want you to try and identify those this evening so that we can see breakthrough in the next coming days and weeks, and we can really start to see you guys fulfill your potential in what God is calling you to. So yeah, just think over that. So point 1, come as you are, the time is now. Point 2, why not? What is it that's holding you back? How are you limiting yourselves? What reasons are you giving as to why you aren't able to commit to serve and find your calling? And point 3 is when the going gets tough. So don't be put off to find your calling when hard times come. And it is exciting. I remember the first time that I stepped out, and again, I didn't feel necessarily called to youth straight away. I shared briefly in our XY group, but finding my calling started with filling a gap, because I couldn't identify the talents and the gifts that God had given me within myself. So I thought, do you know what? I know that God is calling me for the greater calling of serving him as part of his body. So I'm just going to fill a gap. I joined Net Kids team. That was fantastic. I've been on varying different teams, never the worship team, and I don't think I'll ever make it that far. But equally, the teams I have served on have been incredible, and each step of that journey has taught me something to bring me to where I am now, to help me realise my calling for the time is now. And when we look through the Bible, so I was reading up about this today just to sort of freshen my memory. And there are many times in the Bible we see examples of people that are battling with their calling. God calls them out and he says, I've got this plan for you and I've got this purpose for you. And actually they battle with that. So Moses, God called Moses to approach Pharaoh and insist that he set the nation of Israel free from slavery. So this is obviously in the Bible. And Moses was full of arguments. So Moses says to God, his questions were, who am I? What shall I say? What if they do not believe me? So Moses didn't just go, oh yeah, thanks God, like brilliant, I've got a calling, I'm going to run with it. He battled it. So it's not abnormal to feel like you're battling okay, so I know that God's calling me for something, but why me? I don't know if I'm good enough. I want you to, if you are in that position of, okay, I'm struggling, I'm battling with the thought of having to maybe step back from something that I want to do, become selfless and fully wholeheartedly serve God, then pray about it. Go back to God and say, like Moses did, he asked these questions. He didn't just go along with it just to please people, but actually he had that moment of, okay, God, this is where I'm at. Like, these are my worries. This is what I'm thinking, and process that with God. And then he goes, in my research, it went on to say Jeremiah argued with God. And there's many, many examples. I won't read them all out. But I want you to process this. And if you're sitting here thinking, okay, well, I think I am being called to more, I'm telling you, your thought is right. You are being called to more. Everything that you are being called to, God is going to equip you for. You have the tools in your hand. Similar to in my shed, I have all the paintbrushes, all the paint, all the tiles, everything that I need to get my house decorated is within my grasp. But actually, unless I pick that up and I act on that, I'm never going to decorate my house. And in the same way, I want to challenge you guys that actually everything you have is within your grasp. So I want you to step out. So my third point is, when the going gets tough, don't quit. So you are going to be stretched, and I love that word because I have walked that journey, and I'm not saying it in a way that is like, I'm not laughing at you that you're going to be stretched, because it is uncomfortable. And actually, Ellis, me, Lex, we've all been on that journey. Even our young leaders, other youth leaders, they have all been in situations where actually they've committed to serve. They've realised that God is calling them for more, that he wants to grow them, but that requires sacrifice, and it requires you to become uncomfortable. So most of us are happy to step up, and we take the task and we say, right, okay, and it's exciting, and it is exciting. I want you to be excited about finding your calling, about stepping out and serving and doing it with a joyful heart, knowing that you are pleasing God. But when hard times come, I want you to be steadfast. I want you to stand firm. I want you to go to those around you in church, let them pray with you, because it's so rewarding after you push through the hard times and you really stick at it. The growth that you will experience will lead you on to the next step and the next step. And it is just a journey of that. So we are going to obviously go into our small XY groups. Yeah, and so we're going to hear from a few of our department leaders or people that serve in other departments. And we just really want to encourage you that, as I've shared about being equipped for calling, don't feel overwhelmed. This is an exciting time for you guys. There's not like you have to wait until you're a certain age. The time is now. The time is now. So come as you are. Stop limiting yourself. Identify what it is that is limiting you. The reasons that you're given as to why maybe you can't serve, because God has given you everything that you need. There is no reason that God can't overcome with you. And point 3, when the going gets tough, knuckle down and push through, because it is going to be so rewarding. And when you grow, it is uncomfortable, but it is definitely worth it. So we're going to hear now from some of the guys in church that are going to tell you why their team is the best team for you to join. Youth team.
Come on.
Yeah, then we're going to unpack it in XY groups.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tony, for that message. That was incredible. Let's show Tony some love in the comments. Some
Clap
little clap
emojis.
hands.
Thank you, Tony.
That was so good. We are called to more. That's awesome. Such a great message right now to be challenged with. We are called to more this year, 2021. It's only January, not even February yet. Good thing for you to start. Nearly February. In a few days' time, next week.
Mm-hmm.
Right now is the perfect time to hear this message and to know that we are called to more, and that it is challenging, but God has called us to great things.
Yeah, totally. We really hope that you've enjoyed this series, because it's kind of explored like a big topic. And if you've not seen every week, go back, catch up. Last week we had such a sick panel. Melvin, Jess, and a couple of guys sharing on finding my calling, like what is it that God's saying I should do. Tony just bringing great wisdom on how we are equipped to everything that God's called us to do. So what we're going to do now is we're going to set you guys up for a win. We're going to set you guys up to do what Tony preached about. All right. So it doesn't end here, but the night continues, goes on. So what we're going to do is we're going to have someone from each team in church. They're going to come on and they're going to convince you why you should join their team. All right. Why you should serve in their area of church. And I want you to listen to what everyone has to say. And I want you to pick a team. And I want you to go at the end of tonight, after your groups, after we meet after this, I want you to pick a team. You don't have to do it tonight, but I want you to pick a team and be like, I'm going to commit to a year. I'm going to serve for a whole year on that team, even when the going gets tough, even when I'm busy, even when I've got this exam and this exam. I'm deciding that I'm going to serve for a year, no matter what. And so without further ado, we're going to get our first guest. She's an amazing woman of God, absolute legend. Why don't you welcome to the stream, Terry Letford.
Hey!
Hello.
Hey Terry, how you doing?
Excuse me being in my bedroom.
That's all right.
Quiet room in the house.
You just triggered my Siri. That was weird.
Oh, weird.
Anyway,
Strange.
It's good to be back at youth tonight.
I know we snuck you in.
It's good to have you.
Don't tell senior pastors, but
I feel like
You in every
it's
week.
for a reason, so we'll be all right.
Yeah.
well, Terry, why don't you just share with everyone watching a little bit about MIA, why they should come to the 18 plus, and why they should serve as well, why they should come help you pull out chairs and all that jazz. So over to you.
So NYA is great team to serve on. It's similar to youth, but it takes less time. So it's been the best transition for me, transitioning from youth pastor to young adults pastor, because I get to do the same crazy stuff. I get to hang out and do fun stuff, but it's just less of a time commitment. So NYA team is a great team to be a part of, because it's not super time consuming. And if you're sort of 17 and a half, I do let you sneak in early. Especially at the moment where I can't actually tell how old you are. So definitely try and sneak in early, I'd say. We always have pizza. That's a great reason to join team. I feel like where there's food, let's just get on it, shall we? Let's just join that team. I'm big on being part of a family, and when I served on youth team, I made sure that the youth team felt like it was a family, and that's something that I've taken with me into MYA team, and genuinely I feel like my team are my family. They're my people. Like, we do life together. We don't just do ministry and then go home. Like, we do stuff together, and obviously it's hard at the moment, But I've tried to do stuff like we've got a team roulette. Is that the right word? You know, like a takeaway roulette. So all of us have got one team member that's going to send a takeaway to their house, and we're all going to be on Zoom together and hang out and eat together, you know, as much as we can do at the moment. So that's a massive part of being on team for me, just doing life together, just being together. And everything's better when you're in community and you're not by yourself. So that's something that I am massive on. So joining an MYA team is you're joining part of a family, really.
So what would young persons watching right now, they're 17 and a half, what do they need to do right now to make it happen? Instagram, email?
Yeah,
text?
email me. The best way probably is to email me, terry@thenetchurch.co.uk. But you can get hold of me on our Instagram as well, Net Young Adults. And we've got Intent this Friday on YouTube, so definitely plug into that, and then you can see what that's all about as well.
terry@thenetchurch.co.uk. Right, I'll put that in the chat so everyone can see. If you're interested in MYA, hit up Terry, send her a little email. We'd love to have you serving in church, equipped for your calling. Thank you, Terry, for what you shared. We love you, we appreciate you, and we will catch you very soon.
Bye, guys.
All right, up next, we have the amazing Rachel. Now, Rachel, what team are you repping? What team are
I'm
you
repping Sound.
Sound
Big
team.
up the Sound team.
Yeah.
So why don't you just tell us a little bit about Sound Team, what you do, and why young people should come and join the Sound Team?
Okay. So if you haven't been in church, this but there's like a bit in the middle, and Sound Team are on that. And what we do is like we make sure it sounds. We make sure sound works. So we're in charge of like all the instruments come to a desk, and we kind of mix that and we make it sound so like when you hear it in church with the people in control of that. We make sure that mics work. It looks really complicated, and it kind of is, but it's not. But it is. But like it's fun because it's just something to learn, and it's like a really great like team to really get a new skill. Like I know a lot of people that I met at uni and everything like that, and actually their career was started because they did sound at church, and they're now doing like sound production and like all stuff like that. But it started because they were on team at church, and it's a really great team to be part of. Yeah, you definitely get to learn new skills, but it's also I don't know. It's a great team.
Yeah, sound is good. I don't know if you've seen, like, sometimes I watch on Genius YouTube, they do like these breaking down of beats and stuff. And there was one on the other day where the guy was like, oh yeah, I learned to do this at church. And I think a lot of like people that become music producers that have an interest in beats and production and all those kinds of things, there's so much you can learn on Sound Team, because it is how to mix music, how to make someone's guitar that they're putting on the stage, how to make that sound good for everyone listening. And the Sound Team are like the invisible team. They're like the team that they're very hidden, but the work they do, like you couldn't do church without it. So it's like one of those teams which is absolutely fundamental. So if you want to join the Sound Team, contact Rachel or contact myself, or comment down on YouTube, hey, that sounds good. Tell your XY group leader, hey, I'd like to join Sound Team, and we will give you as much info as possible. But yeah, Sound Team is good. If you're a techie, you want to pick up a brand new skill, or you're into music or sound, or maybe you just want to see what it's like, let us know. We'd love to have you on.
And even if you're not, like, I got into it because as a kid, I wanted to be an electrician. And I liked the wires. I liked the wires. I was like, yeah, this is fun. So when I was like 12, I was like, let me do that. I don't want to be an electrician anymore. But Sound Team is still fun, like, because you can like learn other skills as well. So it's like really problem solving and stuff like that. So just come hang out. It's fun.
I'm going to put my email in the chat so people can contact me if they want to. From the Sound Team. Thank you, Rachel. We really appreciate you. Great job every week doing the sound. We love you, and we'll catch you in a bit. Bye. Okay, next up we have the amazing Natasha.
Hey guys.
Natasha, how you doing? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
That is
Yeah.
good. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about the team that you serve on and why young people should join?
Yeah, okay. So I'm on the media team. I've been on the media team for years. I can't even count how many. And it's been a really rewarding team. Not only has it been great to sort of use my creativity, because obviously a lot of it is literally just what you see. So it's all the graphics, it's the slides, it's the lyrics, it's the videos. It's also been great for just like learning how to deal with pressure and like stress, because obviously when you're in church, you know, everything has to be on time, everything has to be like really perfect. But like on the team, like we're really great with being patient with each other. We're really great with being, you know, sort of supporting each other, because obviously it's quite, you know, it's quite an important part of church. So yeah, it's been really rewarding. I love the team. I love the fact that, you know, I get to be a part of something, you know, that helps people sort of get closer to God. Yeah, so I think it's probably the best team, I would say. I'm going to say that.
Shout out.
And yeah, I think you should join us.
Yeah, media team's sick. I think, you know, if you want to express your creativity in any way at all, media team is definitely the place to be. It's a place for creatives. It's a place for out-the-box thinkers, but it's also a place for people that, you know, can get things done, be strategic, because there's deadlines and all that sort of stuff. So it's, you know, it's a real mix. It's a real mixed bag of people.
Yeah.
But it's a great team. And if you want to join, just pasting that right now.
Yeah,
right, if you want to
okay.
join the media team, contact Jess at thenetchurch.co.uk. Our amazing Jess Akian. She's not only on the youth team, but she actually leads the media team, and she's a good boss.
Yeah.
Natasha, you must say.
Yeah, she's great.
She's a bit of a legend. And so if you want to work with Jess, if you're like, that's the only reason I want to be on the media team, hey, join.
Go for it.
It's a great team. I think one of the coolest teams in church. They work with Instagram. You know, if you want to be an influencer, if you want to learn how to learn the ropes of Instagram,
Edit your own photos.
join the media team. Yeah, if you want your selfie game to go up, join the media team. But also, it's a team that serves Jesus in just a way that no other team can. They put church on the map.
Yeah.
They put church out there for everyone to see. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. So many people become Christians, learn about Jesus because they see or hear about Net Church on social media.
Yeah.
And so it's an amazing, amazing team. You should really join it. Thanks, Natasha, for plugging it. You did such a great job. And we will catch you in a bit. Okay, up next, we have Chris Ward.
Way.
Big man.
Hi.
Now, I must say, Chris, I'll give you some credit here. I've dobbed Chris in it a bit last minute, all right? So give him a bit of grace, because Chris literally texted me. He was like, I don't know what to say. Please help me. And so I'm believing in you, Chris. I believe you've got this. So why don't
I
you
think
tell
this
us?
will be the best one yet.
Yeah, so why don't you tell us about Net Kids?
Well, I'm obviously on Sittingbourne Net Kids. It's just something that happens in the background while regular service is going on. We're in the other room, and we're just helping teach all the kids about the Bible. We give them loads of Bible verses to learn each week. We do loads of activities with them, whether it's drawing, whether it's we're doing worship, and we really help them come closer and go on their path towards God. And that's really important, as they're the future generation of Net Church. And I think it's really powerful when we get to speak into their lives, especially as no one trailed off there.
I'm not being funny, but you just absolutely smashed that. So well done. That was a sick plug. You did a good job. Yeah, Net Kids, as Chris said, it's the future. Like, you get a chance to invest in the future. And I don't know if you guys have got any little younger brothers or sisters, you know, whether or not you love them or not. You know, that's a question. But, you know, they need to teach about God. And Jesus says this, let the children come to me. Jesus values kids. He loves kids. And he wants them to know more about him. And so Net Kids is sick. It's a great team. It's a team where it's just completely out the box, isn't it? Like, you're doing all sorts of games, stories. So
it's just so fun.
It's a lot of fun. It's a really fun team. So if you want to know more about it, ask Chris in the comments or email Andrew at thenetchurch.co.uk. Now, if you want to join any team, right, just email these emails that we're sending out. Say, hey, I want to join this team. I want to join this team. I want to be part of this team. Let them know you've sent you. and they will get you plugged in straight away. Thanks, Chris. You did an amazing job. Why don't we give Chris a clap as he goes? Absolute legend. Right, up next we have the wonderful Z. Yeah, that's it. It's just Z. Oh, then we've got Ade. I don't even know if Ade knows, you know. I'll do Ade's. All right, anyway, we'll get Z up. Here we go.
Fair enough.
There you are.
Yo,
How you doing, Z?
I'm doing great. I'm plug-in welcome team today. Welcome team is a great team. See, a lot of people think you have to be up on stage to be a part of church, you know, to be a part of a team. But actually, I think welcome team, you know, just as important. You know, you can't have Ellis doing worship, preaching, welcome team. So we need people there too. So, you know, come join us. It's great fun. You get to meet loads of new people and you get to have some snacks before everyone else gets to them. It's real great. We're a great family. There's loads of new people to meet. You're like basically the face of Net Church. You know, you're the first thing people see. It's nice to, you know, meet new people, show them around church, and yeah, that's welcome team. It's great. Come join us.
It's awesome. So good. It's one of those teams where if there wasn't a welcome team, you'd feel a bit lost when you walked into church, and you're like the face of Net Church in the practical sense.
Yeah,
which is
totally.
awesome.
The welcome, the smile, welcome team is like essential.
Yeah.
And also, I served on welcome team. You know, I did a stint. Welcome team was my first team.
Wow.
Back in Sandbourne, right? I was in year 7, right? And I joined welcome team, and me and Ben Gad, we were on like teas and coffees together. So I remember like making loads of teas and giving to people and be like, "Welcome to Net Church."
Make one for yourself.
Yeah, making a lot of teas for myself.
Nice.
Welcome team is a great team. It's a family unit, and yeah, it's a chance. It's going to grow your character. Jesus says this: love your neighbor as yourself. If you want to learn how to love people, join welcome team.
Yeah.
Welcome team is the team where your job is to love everyone that walks through the door, no matter what they look like, no matter where they come from, if they smell or not, who cares? We are there to welcome them, to love them, to show them that in church, people matter and lives are changed. That's what we believe as Net Church. That's what we believe as Extraordinary Youth. And the welcome team is the face of the church. They're there. They are living out what we believe. Sweet. The reason I was on my phone is because I was texting someone about jumping on, but they're not here yet. So I'm going to go over to Lex, and Lex is going to plug youth team. Thank you, Z.
Well, I have the awesome job of plugging Youth Team, the best team that has been presented this evening. I think everyone here can agree that Youth Team is the best team, no matter how much they tried to promo their team. We have so much fun doing Friday nights for you guys online at the moment, but when we're in the building, we have just as much fun. Yeah, we have a lot of fun. After the service, we'll like get Mackies, we'll sit around, play games. We're a really tight-knit group, we're family here, and we would love for you to join us. I think it's a great team because it kind of brings together all the other teams as well. We've got like our own worship band, we've got our own media team. Like, you have a place here, and anyone that is hearing the sound of my voice right now can join Youth Team.
Yes, absolutely. We want you to be a part of this. Everything that we do on a Friday night, we want you in. We love you, we value you, and we believe that God has a calling on your life and you're equipped. It's simple as join it. And yeah, it's a place to grow. It's a place to laugh. I've been on youth team as long as I can remember. And I've always loved it. Friday nights have always been the best. I think the dynamic changes when you go from being someone that attends youth to someone that makes youth happen. I think you almost get more out of it. Like you get more out of the sermons, you get more out of the time as team, you stack the chairs, you do all the jobs that nobody wants to do, but you love it.
It's so rewarding.
You make it happen, And that was honestly the key to every team. Every team, you serve well and you work hard, and it is rewarding. And last but certainly not least, we've got Josh Pedro, who's going to jump on for us right now and plug the worship team. Hey, there he is.
Yeah, go on. Worship team, worship team. It's a great team. It really is. Obviously, at first for me, I just liked the drums. I just always wanted to learn how to play the drums. So initially, I just did that just to learn the instrument. And as you do it, I learned about not just the technical stuff about drums, but how to worship God truly, wholeheartedly, how to lead people into worship. So my shout for you guys, if you want to play the piano, you want to play the drums, want to play the guitar, want to play the bass, want to sing, you know, it's a great place. You know, it can be scary, obviously, being on stage, but, you know, with time, you get to adapt, but it's great because you learn about playing in a band, serving God, why we worship, how to worship, and how to lead. So you better join the worship team. That's what
Yes. Better join the worship team. Now, for all of those teams, for the worship team, for the sound team, for the youth team, you can email me, ellis@thenetchurch.co.uk. For the welcome team, Andrew at thenetchurch.co.uk. I'll put all these emails and we'll give them all to you guys in your groups. Great plug, Josh. I love Josh. Josh is an excellent member of the worship team. He's such a sick drummer. And this is like, obviously I lead the worship team, so I'm a little bit biased, but the reason that I think I love worship, right, is that that's our like job. Like if you're like, I don't know if you've had this moment, like when you're singing to God and God, you just feel God's presence, you feel God's peace, you have breakthrough moments. Like the worship team, that's their job, is to sing to God. And it's the sickest job. Like I love moments when we've practiced, let's say, you know, like got songs in church, like let me just pick a good one, like Lord's End Revival. My favorite moment is when, like, as a band, we're together, we're playing that song, and we just go somewhere different with the song. We start singing the chorus again, and Josh is there on the drums. He's like, and it just kicks off into another gear, and you just, yeah, it's just sick. So the worship team's insane. If you play any instrument or you want to learn, like we teach people from scratch for free. I don't know if you've tried to get free lessons anywhere. They don't happen. In church, they do. We teach you for free. We have instruments you can practice on. Like, and Josh was taught in house, in church. So Josh is like sick drummer.
I taught him everything I know.
I'd like to have everything I know. I taught him some stuff. I learned the guitar in church, all of it. Like from start to finish, I learned every instrument, bass, and drums myself. I learned all of those from playing at church, being part of the worship team. All right, thank you, Josh. We're going to love you and leave you. Good job. Hopped on last minute for that one, but he's such a legend and he smashed it. All right, well, that is it for us. I hope that you enjoyed XY groups, but it's not the end of the night. We're going to be jumping into our groups right now.
Yes, we are.
Jumping right in. So check your WhatsApp. You should have a link for a Zoom or a Google Meet. Get ready for that right now. But if you're here and this is your first time watching, or you know you're not part of an XY group, I want you to do something a bit brave. I want you to just comment down below and say, hey, I'd like to be part of an XY group. If any of your mates are in groups, we'll get you into the same group as your mates. If you're completely new and you don't know anyone, and there's a leader that you saw and you thought, oh, I'd kind of want to be in their group, just say down below, hey, I'd like to be in Lexi's group, Rachel's group, Ellis's group, Natasha's group, Josh's group, Tony's group, Chris's group. All right, just comment down below. We would love, love, love to have you as part of our groups. We do it every week. We absolutely love it. And so that's it. We're going to end the night right there. But I'm just going to stick around for a little bit. In the comments, just make sure if you're there and you want to join a group, just join, or as I'm going to do right now, here is my number. That is my number. If you want to join a group and you don't want to put it on the YouTube, just text me. Say your name, say you want to join a group, and we're meeting right now after this. And so I'll just send you the link to the group. You can join in, and you'll love it. All right. You know what to do, teams. You know what to do, youth. Let's head into groups. We will catch you all next week and now for groups.
See you then.
See you then.